Live free and be happy, baby.
As P, I really got inspired with P when, like, in 2001. Like, that's when I started really getting into the music. That's like when P No Limit fell off, right? Like, nobody was checking for No Limit 2001. But for me personally in my life, my brothers, I told you earlier, my brother was bumping the 504 boys, so they had the No Limit stuff. They had some of it, right? They like Cash Money and they like No Limit.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between me and them was, like, my dad is from Louisiana, and
Okay.
so I'm more connected to the South than they are. Like, we got different dads, and so, but they had went to jail and they caught some major time, and so for me, I lost my two older brothers to the system. Right? They did some BS stuff, but they wasn't gonna be in my life for a long period of time. And so I really turned to the No Limit music as a an escape, not an escape, as a substitute of losing my brothers and not having them around. And so just understanding Pete's story about, like, how he lost Kevin when he was young and how his other two brothers came together to form this dynamic label, and you know what I mean, and make something out of nothing. And so I really fell in love with not the music, but I fell in love with the story that I can come from East Oakland and be something better and be something greater than what I see in the hood every day, right? For Pete coming out of the Calio projects, then coming out of South Richmond and being able to live in a mansion. Not that the mansion's the goal, but the goal is to live a better life, right? Not to end up in jail or dead before your time, you know? And so for me personally, I feel like the No Limit, Master P, the influence that was in my life, that 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 really is, I believe, one reason why I'm still here today as a free man. You know what I mean? Because back then it was people approaching me as a youngster, like, "Hey, how old are you?" I'm 15. You want to sell this Nick? You want to sell this Don? I'm good, bruh. You know. But then people also knowing who my brothers was in the streets, it was like, don't mess with little man because that's such and such little brother. You know what I mean? So I didn't really get in trouble in the hood like that because of who my people was. Not that they was some hell of a niggas, but they was known enough for, in the hood, for, like, don't mess with me because I'm their little brother. But
Mm-hmm.
when they got locked up, things changed. So we had to move and all this other type of stuff. But I could have easily, my point is, I could have easily turned to the street, start selling dope. You know what I mean? Being a womanizer. I could have, like, been in and out of jail, or maybe gotten caught up in some gang violence or whatever. But the music that Pete put out and that I listened to, we talked about the intro about being independent, black owned. You feel me? Like, not working for somebody else. You know what I mean? Getting your own. Um, and then he's also a big believer in God. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of music he has is not religious, but it's spiritual. It's spiritual nuggets in there. You feel me? And I didn't grow up in church, right? I didn't start getting into my gospel rap stuff until I was in my late teens, right? But a lot of those things, for as far as P, like, those were all big influences in my life, where I feel like that's one reason why, I'm not, well, I'm not locked up, or I'm not dead right now, is because I focused on something else in life, and the music was a big part of that. Collecting them No Limit CDs was like, man, what's in the mail today? Oh, this is Fiend. Oh, let me go to the store. Oh, this is C Murder. And then collecting them, listening to the stories, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Digesting them, and not just taking them for face value, but looking deeper into the message. Like, it's a lot of good nuggets in there that people can take out and use for positive. But we know a majority of people, they don't get that deep, and they'll listen to the negative stuff, and they want to go, gang bang and kill somebody or do whatever. They want to rob a bank, but they don't hear the other side of the music, where if you do this, you're gonna end up in jail. You know what I mean? And time away from your family and stuff like this, or not even be able to create a family.
Yep.
And they don't look at the bigger picture. But No Limit music has always been about the bigger picture. And so that's why I just appreciate you doing this, for, shedding light on P and honoring P. And the music is great, but everything else he's done, and it's very inspirational. That's what I will say. It's very inspirational. Growing up in East Oakland, I was just like, and then looking at P on TV and listening to his interviews, It's like I can do that, and if I can't make it to his success, at least I can get out of here. I can get out of East Oakland, Sam Knight to MacArthur. I can make it out of this. You feel me? Yeah. And so you're looking at somebody who end up going to the military, buying a couple houses, getting a couple cars, getting married, having some children, and working on still building, you know what I mean, to be what I want to be, still getting my education, you know, even in my mid-30s now. But that vision, you know, no limit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think I thought I did good when I went to the military. Okay, I'm better. I get out the military. Okay, I get a nice little job. Okay, the job don't work out. I buy a house. I buy another. Okay, things is kind of snowballing. You feel me? I'm learning more. You know, life take you on the journey, but there's no limit to the success, man. Pete taught me that. Back in MySpace days, you used to could change your name on MySpace. My name on MySpace for the longest was No Limit Records Raised Me. That was my name on MySpace. You feel me? And people would ask me like, "Oh, why you like Master P?" In high school, I used to have my backpack. I write on my backpack, Master P, C Murder, Silk, Currency. Remember Currency was on No Limit? Currency, Crazy, Official. I used to write all them names. Yeah. And they was like, "Man, what are you listening to?" Like, I was a weird guy in high school because I liked No Limit. You feel me? While everybody was listening to Usher and everything else that was hot, Lil Wayne, T.I., Jeezy, I was listening to the Tank.
Yeah.
I was always different, bro.
You were an extended version of me almost, because I went through the same thing in high school, and that most of the reasons you said, like, man, I almost shed a tear just now, man. I'm telling you, man, like, my father, he went back to Louisiana when I was like 11 or something like that, or 10. He was on drugs and stuff. So when P came out, I started listening to him maybe like 95, 96. I was a freshman in high school, 96. I used to say P was my stepfather. And the same, that's why I'm not in jail. I'm not like, I ain't never like did nothing like, you know, nothing super crazy, nothing like that. P like was like my stepfather. I used to listen to him like he was my father, I promise. And he kept me out of a lot of trouble, and he made me want to be more than a rapper. I always wanted to be a businessman, a CEO, like have my own, like bigger than being a rapper. And he was like the biggest influence to me. And even to this day, he still influenced me and affect me in the same type of way, where it's positivity, and I can listen to him like, because as a young man, we need people that listen to him. Like you say, it's about what you take from the music. And in my era coming up, like the type of music, it's totally different these days. But back then, it's like I had to listen to people that I feel like I could listen to, as far as like in somebody older than me type way. Like P, I used to say P was my stepfather. A-Ball and MJG, them was my uncles. Like I used to look at them like my uncles. Like certain people, I say my cousin if they closer to my age and stuff. But I only listen to people that I could get that power from in certain them nuggets and stuff like that, you know.
Live free and be happy, baby.
This your boy Crazy alias Doc Holiday, 504 boy, thugged out with my homie.
Free man.
Y'all know how we do it, man. Salute, number soldiers worldwide.
No, it ain't no limit. 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 Ain't no limit to my hustle. No limit to my muscle. I've been grinding. Gotta make it out the struggle. No, it ain't no limit. 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 Ain't no limit to my work. No limit to my shine. I've been grinding. I got money on my mind. Lfbh, live free, be happy. Lfbh. Lfbh, live free, be happy. Lfbh. Lfbh, live free, be happy. Lfbh. Lfbh, live free, be happy. Lfbh.